The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and we have a big tag team match. Cody Blanchard and Lex Luger will be teaming up for the first time. I guess the Four Horsemen would think they're on a roll right now.
Well, you know what? Stardust, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream himself, Mr. Stardust.
Aside me right now is the one, the only Mr. Stardust. How are you, sir?
I have just got the most wonderful news.
The chief brand officer of WWE said, "Why don't you paint your face like your brother?" And she was only making a suggestion, but someone's face just... There was nothing I could do at that point. That's what he saw. And they came up with all these great designs, and I look like Quicksilver from the comics, and I thought, yeah, it's going to be badass, right?
Yeah.
But then he hit me with the worst thing you could ever tell me. He said, you should shave your head like your brother. And my soul left with all that hair. It was just like mini dust, like diet gold dust.
Stardust actually had a couple milestones and had some fun moments, and I did go into it fully committed to try and change it, but it wasn't going to get me anywhere.
So can I call you Cody, or should we?
No, but I can totally provide you with an update.
Give me the update.
Spoke about it briefly off the air, as the kids say, but I can tell you Cody Rhodes has been spotted.
Where?
Fishing.
Where?
Along the Alaskan archipelago, and you'll appreciate this, he has a full beard. Crazy. Isn't it nuts?
I think Stardust has outlived his lifespan in WWE, but that's to his credit. I think sooner than later, Stardust would be gone and Cody Rhodes will be back.
Everybody was being receptive. I wanted to go back to being Cody Rhodes. Vince was being receptive to it. Hunter was being receptive to it. Problem was they were taking too long. And my dad had just, he had been a minute, but he had passed away. And when you're a Hall of Famer's kid, when you don't have to work hard to get the gig, it becomes a matter of once you get the gig, you have to work incredibly hard to even get in the, to get in your own discussion. There's some inner turmoil, and when you have that inner turmoil, the last thing you want is turmoil at work, I think. And I just couldn't handle it. It was sad. It was sad to put on that suit. It was sad to it was like being a sad clown, literally. It was sad. And I knew they were receptive and they had thought maybe it was a good idea, but I needed it now. And it just came to, I'm going to leave. You guys don't get to fire me, but you also don't get to fix me. I'm going to go out and I'm going to fix myself. And who knows what I'm going to do after that. Leaving was really difficult, but it was also the easiest decision I'd ever made.
Because nobody quits. Right. They fire you. Right. Nobody gets to quit WWE. And I wasn't going to have that. They were going to keep me there, whether it be out of respect for what I've done already or whether it just be out of respect for my dad. I was going to work there forever. And I am not one who the paycheck just is not worth, it's not worth your happiness. The
best possible thing is when you can bet on yourself and you can always remember that, hey, I was the first. I was told over and over again that leaving WWE was a terrible decision. That when it happened, I think Dustin was trying to get me back. And Brandy was the only person I remember who flat out said, no, you'll do it. It's going to be great. And she might have been lying, which is okay. I think the greatest revenge you can have is success. It's more honest than anything else. I could tell you all the great things about WWE, but there is, at the end of the day, WWE also didn't think I was top, and I thought I was top.
Crossroads! This is how we beat over! This is what we do! Look at my ace in the center of that ring.
I didn't know the answer to that question till about 20 minutes ago. And the answer to that question is kick, punch, fight, scratch, and tell every son of a bitch who said you couldn't do it that you can do it.
It was so personally scary. It was also my job to present a front that it wasn't as risky as I made it out to be. It was so risky. Like, I joked with people all the time, oh, I was actually one of the wrestlers who was good with my money. I'm going to be okay outside of WWE. That's not true.
Right.
I was just like it was check to check, and then the checks are going to end, and now it's indie payday, and you create these revenue streams and do these things. So it was very risky.
And I had all that time to think about it, and that's where the list came from. And then the list leads to, meeting the Young Bucks in Reseda and being open to their psychology and their type of wrestling, because it's unique.
I just had the absolute best luck in the world in terms of meeting the Young Bucks, and they might look like wild little rock stars who are irresponsible, but they're business geniuses.
People treat us like the gateway between WWE and Indies. Whether you're going to WWE or you're coming back to the Indies, we're the gateway, we're the bridge.
Yo, 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 it's Matt and Nick Jackson, the best tag team on planet Earth, the Young Bucks.
Super kick, and currently in the ring from Redding, California, weighing 180 pounds, Matt Jackson.
We first started our careers actually as pro wrestlers. We were singles wrestlers, right? In the very, very beginning. I think it was just one of those happenstance moments where promoters booked us as a tag team, and it clicked, and everybody started wanting us as a tag team. And we were kind of against it at first. We were like, no, I want to wear red and call myself Mr. Instant Replay, and he wants to wear blue and call himself Slick Nick. We're not the Young Bucks. And it was almost forced upon us, like, no, you're the Young Bucks. And we started seeing we were getting more bookings, and there's more buzz about us. So it's almost like one of those things where we're like, why are we going against what everybody wants?
Right. Okay.
And it became to the point where we're like, this is undeniable, and there's more marketability in this. There's probably more chances that we're going to succeed, because at the time, there weren't that many tag teams really blowing up and doing things. So maybe this is our entry into this. Maybe this is our way in to get the push that we want. We're not doing it as singles wrestler. It ain't happening. Let's try it this way. And it started happening.
It worked.
And we were like, let's stop fighting this. Let's just do it.
And we haven't separated since.
I didn't know much of Cody besides what we all knew
Besides
about.
Kevin Owens, who said, hey, Cody's leaving. You guys are going to love him, and please help him out on the
take
indies.
care of him. And when a guy like Kevin says, hey, you're going to love Cody, we take it seriously. If we go, okay, let's love him then. We meet him, and
right away we hit it off.
I gotta get Cody Rhodes on. I'm gonna interrupt him.
Yeah, do it.
Hey Cody, I'm gonna put you on Being the Elite. I'm interrupting. What happened? You're on our YouTube show. Am I live? Yeah. We're on the YouTube show. What are we doing? What kind of things are we doing? Nothing. Just with your face. All right, everybody, is this still live? Yeah. I got my big line tonight. I'm gonna try it out. The day after. Yeah, there it is. So here's what I'm gonna say about the Bucks tonight. I'm gonna say the day after you guys print a T-shirt, you start printing money. Yes. I feel that's pretty good. Yes. I get it, right? People will dig it. I got other stuff. I feel like you're not as impressed with that as I'm very impressed with it. There's gonna be more.
Slapping Bullet Club on your gear, that should be a portion of your identity. A portion, not your entire identity. If you're just in the Bullet Club, well, basically you're just saying, well, I was second to, Finn Balor, and I was second to AJ Styles, and now you'd be saying I was second to Kenny Omega. When I was asked to join the Bullet Club, I wanted to make sure I joined the Bullet Club, and I added my brand, I added my identity to it, and that's why I fell in with the likes of Matt, Nick, Kenny, Hangman, Marty, and that being the elite type crew, because that's a small portion of everybody's identity. Everybody wants to keep going, and they're very proud of it. I love it.
To be in their unit and to be like open arm accepted is it's cool, but it also is like, well, damn, they're gonna go out there and the Young Bucks are gonna have the most amazing, difficult to follow match you can think of. Kenny Omega, the same thing. It's nice competitive element to that. Like, well, what can I do? Maybe it's not so much this on one night or this on another night, but what can I do in this moment that you remember everybody in this group? everybody who did the Bullet Club thing that night. You walk away seeing, oh, you know, Tonga did this, Rhodes did this, Kenny did this, and I'm looking forward to that challenge.
Somebody asked me on Twitter, do you think that Ring of Honor could sell 10,000 tickets to a show? And I go, no time soon. And Cody, you know, within hours just goes, Dave, I'll take that bet. Give me 3 months in Kenny Omega and the Bucks, and we'll do it. And I said, hey, you know, good luck. We tried to look it up, and I mean, I couldn't find anything since the TV era started that's comparable to what All In is. We've seen nothing like this since WCW went down.
Thanks, Dave Meltzer. I appreciate the historian he's been for the industry, and I appreciate he took that adversarial approach because that challenge was real.
But when I said that, I didn't immediately call Nick or call Matt and say, hey, we've got to do this.
We were planning it anyway.
Yeah, we were already...
Fuel to the fire, kind of.
We were planning on doing a big show.
We were doing a big show.
We were already talking about it.
And why the three of you guys?
So ROH does this tour called the War of the Worlds tour, and it's been 2 tours, 2 War of the Worlds ago. Yes. And I noticed the combination amongst friends, however you did the combination, whether the Young Bucks were in the main event, or whether I did the main event, or whether Kenny did the main event, or whether me, Marty, Hangman, I noticed that no matter what, we were ending the show with a Bullet Club party. Yep. And these are Stage AE in Pittsburgh, for example. These are like 1,100, 1,300 seats. But just the sentiment was that of 10,000 people. Like, they didn't want to leave.
It was a party.
It was a party. They didn't want to leave. The match was great that they got to see, but we were coming up with all this stuff to do after these bits. Right. And it became, I don't know, just kind of this gut feeling. This is just for me talking. I think Matt and Nick both thought this could already be done. It just became this huge confidence booster that why I like Stage AE and I like these more intimate settings, but why aren't we taking a risk?
Right.
Why aren't we betting on this? I mean, we're
betting
seeing
on yourself.
Why aren't we betting on ourselves? And hey, if somebody's not comfortable, like, for example, if Ring of Honor is not comfortable putting that money up, or New Japan's not comfortable, if we don't have an investor, who gives a damn? We're doing pretty well. Why don't we just put our money in together?
Right.
And live forever, you know? Like, it's
take a shot.
Take a shot. Yeah. And it was that tour specifically for me that made me think, absolutely, we could get. There seems to be so much Bullet Club, being the elite love.
And no wrestling expert, no wrestling historian. There's a bazillion. Nobody can call what's going to happen next. So I'm not even going to speculate on what's going to happen next. But I know we're definitely on the rise. To me, wrestling's never been more popular.
Yeah, I'm the one who got all, kind of irritated at the Meltzer line and the fact that, he doesn't think we can draw 10,000 people. But it wasn't about anyone in particular drawing 10,000 people. It was about over 10,000 people and the potential millions that could be watching on home saying, yeah, I want something different. I want to know what that flavor tastes like. I love what I have, but I can love again.
Well, now's the time. Matt, Nick, myself, we are self-financing an event, All In. The goal is 10,000 people, and the place is my honor.
No.
It is my...
I get to announce where it is.
Why do you get it now?
Why? You don't even have the damn shirt on. You selfish prick.
Whoa.
We're running this show.
Whoa, wait a minute. No. Listen, I'm the brains behind the operation. I have the biggest arms in the group. It's my time. No.
Listen, I don't know what's wrong with these guys. Maybe I can't deliver a perfect Hurricane Rana or, do anything but jump off the top rope. But I know how to announce the city that All In is going to be in September 1, 2018. Chicago, Illinois. We're coming for you.
Chicago has afforded us to do it, to make this a possibility. But no matter what else is out there on September 1st, with WWE, with Impact, it doesn't matter. Nothing is going to touch All In. Nothing. And I'm not the one who's making that guarantee. It's everybody who's on that show. I'm very confident that we would be able to bring in those numbers.
I told Vince about All In about 4 or 5 months ago, and we were just discussing and shooting the breeze, and I said, yeah, the show is in September in Chicago, and Vince is like, I wish they would have called me, He goes, September's the worst time of year to promote. It's terrible. And I'm like, old school 40 years of promoting. And he goes, they should have called me. Like, hey, Vince,
I got him on my phone.
It's Matt Jackson here.
Hey, Vince, it's Cody. I got the Young Bucks on the phone here. A couple questions about promoting in the fall.
How are you? If All In is what we hope and say it's going to be, if the reality matches the expectation, then we all really want to wake up the next day and know we did it, because the implications of what this event could mean for wrestling and the wrestling economy, big implications. It'd be nice to wake up and know we had a part in that.
I told the higher ups at Ring of Honor, what's the most amount of tickets you have ever sold to an event? And the answer was 6,000 tickets. I said, the minute they sell 6,001 tickets, they immediately become bigger than Ring of Honor in the snap of a finger. That's why you want your name involved with it.
All In is very possible because we said, hey, we want to be All In. Right. We want to do this. But Ring of Honor also had a huge decision to make.
Right.
Whether we could or couldn't.
We're all under exclusive
contracts.
Under contracts.
Because we're breaking contract to do another.
We're breaching our contract.
And it's interesting they didn't want it to be a Ring of Honor show.
Right.
I think I like Greg and Joe, who are the top brass of Ring of Honor. They seem to really gel with this wealthy generation of wrestling that's happening. They've
given us so much freedom.
Yeah, sounds kind of risky, but you guys, you got it. You know, do it, and they very supportive.
So they gave you their blessing.
And they gave
whatever
us their
you
blessing.
guys need, we'll be there.
The higher ups at Ring of Honor had no idea how much Cody and the Bucks and Hangman had earned and commanded the love and respect of the wrestling fan at that moment in time. They had 4 guys there that fan base clamored for.
It's becoming a little nerve-wracking now because it's
all getting real, right?
We knew about the show, man, almost about a year and a half ago, right? Where we were toying with the idea.
That was the beginning of it, yeah.
And so now to see it become a reality and to watch all the buzz that we've created for it, we're just hoping that helps ticket sales.
It's nerve-wracking because it's like we've got a lot of buzz and a lot of talk, but it's like, does that necessarily translate into dollars spent, into tickets purchased?
We travel a lot, so every meet and greet we do, a big percentage of the people say, hey, I'm flying to Chicago.
I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah. So that's a good sign. Because the goal is 10,000 seats. We want to fill it up. We want to have a sellout. So
it feels like it's going to do good.
I don't think you have anything to worry about.
I hope not. I don't think so. As professional wrestlers, you have insecurities.
We always doubt ourselves.
Yeah.
So we'll always have that feeling, and it's like it's hard to get past that.
Well, we're hopeful. We're excited. We're nervous, and we're optimistic. And I think it's gonna be big.
It's going to be a good day. I can feel it already.
I hope so.
Oh, yeah.
It better be after all this. We head to Chicago early morning for a press conference. I could barely see you while I'm driving.
Distracted him while driving.
And then later that night, we'll obviously have a show in Chicago. But big press conference for All In. We're hoping to sell as many tickets as we can in 24 hours. Very hopeful, very excited.
We ran a disastrous press conference that morning where everything went wrong.
God. Tell us about it. What happened?
It was just one of those situations. Mics weren't working.
Cameras weren't.
Yeah, the cameras weren't getting the right shot.
It looked so good when we walked in. The backdrop, they had all the chairs. We had actual fans in, so it wasn't
press there.
We had actual press, but we had more fans than actual press.
I think we're being hard on ourselves though, because honestly, I think it was
turned into a disaster.
It honestly, it was fun in like a way.
That's how it has to be though. Like I said, this is what I mentioned after, because they're being hard on the whole thing. I'm like, listen, it couldn't be perfect because this is 3 dudes trying to do this thing for the first time.
Promoted it.
Right? And I think there's a charm.
That's the legit giant arena, man.
So there's a certain charm to it being being mess ups and
for sure.
And I think it's funny. People enjoyed it.
For sure, there's charm, but my fear is I don't want them to just keep saying like, "Yeah, man, these guys."
Is this what the show's gonna be like?
Besides all the failures that we had that day, you could feel the buzz.
My name
is Cody Rhodes. I'm a 12-year pro, and although I go by the American Nightmare, I still very much believe in the American dream. And I want to tell you what All In isn't and what All In is. All In isn't about a bet. All In is about a feeling that I have in common with Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. A feeling that we can go beyond, that we can seek the asunder, that we can break the monotony, the status quo of good wrestling and great wrestling even, and give you elite wrestling. Everybody has different reasons. Nick wants to do this because people have said that he can't. Matt wants to do it. He's been quoted as saying he wants to better the wrestling economy. And me, I want to do it because I want to live forever. All right, guys, who is ready for All In? Today is an historical day. Today is monumental for my brother, myself, for Cody, for the rest of the guys in the back. As you know, tickets go on sale tonight. Everything we've done, everything we've built, it's been DIY, truly, and we haven't been able to do it without each and every one of you. September 1st, we will put 10,000 fans in the Sears Center because of each and every one of you.
I want to make the professional wrestling business a richer place. I really mean that. Like I want to help the economy of pro wrestling because I want to give the guys who not necessarily work for Vince somewhere else to work and make a lot of money, because I hate that there's only one show in town, and right now there isn't just one show in town. Like as we're seeing here, you know, with what we're doing in Chicago, if we could fill that place up, that's a big step in the right direction. It's showing you that, hey, we're here to kick ass, we're here to sell tickets, we're here to show you that pro wrestling exists not only in that universe, there's multiple universes.
Tickets went on sale 2 minutes ago, and the website searscenter.com is already experiencing very heavy traffic.
I'm in a virtual waiting room.
I think
like
that's a good sign, though, right?
It is.
Yeah,
hopefully you're in that
Poor
waiting
Flip's
room
still not booked.
with 9,000 something people. Hopefully.
How do you feel right now, Code?
Honestly, just fucking nervous and scared.
Yeah.
Like a little boy. I feel like a little
It's a good
boy in a
feeling.
suit, but it's such a good feeling.
Nick pulls out his phone and he goes, "This is a real moment right here."
Yep.
And he starts
videoing for
filming
being the
us.
elite.
And
Being the elite, right.
And we tried
Like
to
an O-tour.
We tried to buy a ticket.
Yep.
So we go on everybody.
The first minute I tried to log in.
Yeah.
Oh, so you go to like ticketfly.com or whatever.
Or
the
website
It was Sears Center. They were selling it through the
Yeah, we used we made our own URL and we just backdoored it to the Sears
But
Center
the
site.
first minute I tried logging in, website already crashed.
Shut
I
down.
was like, oh my God.
Virtual waiting room.
And I'm going on both. I'm going on Twitter just to check if people are getting them.
Yeah.
And within someone said, "Oh my God, the floors are gone in 30 seconds."
That's
So
insane.
I said, "Oh crap!" So I'm kind of monitoring that, and I'm telling them in the group chat, guys, these tickets are going quick.
And we were going to get updates from the box office
We did.
every 30 minutes, but
we got one at 10
we got
minutes.
pretty anxious and we're like, hey, call them anyway after 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got one at 10 minutes and said, "Well, you guys, it looked like," Gary called me. He goes, "It looks like you've moved 3,000 in 10 minutes." And I thought, oh, good. That's probably everyone knew they get their tickets right away.
I knew right away. Oh, okay.
So I
think
that's it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do like 300 in the next 4 hours.
So we're trying to load our phones. My wife finally gets in. Dana. And about a 22-minute mark. And she's like, okay, I'm going to try for best available. So she gets in, she does best available, and it came up at $28. And we're like, no way. That's the nosebleed.
Nosebleeds.
And we were like, wait a minute, that's best available? I said, punch in one. Just try it. Yeah. And she punched in one, and she couldn't get in. About at 29 minutes, it says none available. I said, we're sold out. And we're still in the drive now. So I text these guys. I said, guys, we're sold out. And Cody's like, no, we're not.
Denied it.
No, we're not.
Possible.
Yeah,
I denied it until
I said,
6
no.
p.m.
I said, you don't understand. I just tried. I got through best available. I punched in one ticket and it said none available. We're done. We're sold out. And then I started loading my Twitter and everyone's like, yep, you're sold out.
And
you're
then
sold out,
Gary
you're sold out.
Silkin texted me and he
was
goes,
trying to get his hands on tickets because
he owns a ticket business.
Yeah.
He goes, I've never seen this ever before for a wrestling event. What the hell is going on?
So this is like the Beatles.
We never got a genuine moment between the three of us where we all really knew. I Matt knew right away. Like he was yelling, "We sold
I was
out!"
screaming.
He's
We got to the building and we parked. I said,
Yeah.
"We sold out 30 minutes."
Nick-
I'm just yelling. Everyone's just looking at me.
Nick is high fiving people, and I knew something was going on because the Ring of Honor crew was all staring at us.
They all knew something.
And everyone
yeah.
kept saying, "Congratulations, guys!" But I
don't believe for real.
I waited
I
until
knew.
Gary came up to me, but I didn't even believe Gary.
Yeah.
He goes, "It's official. We can
You
call
were
it a
shocked.
sellout." And this is 29 minutes after it went on sale, and it wasn't
What a
until
moment, man.
like
That's amazing.
you guys don't know this. I went at the signing, at the autograph signing that night. There's a line of people, and like one person came up, "Hey, I'm all in," and they got their ticket, and I was like, "Oh, that's great." And another person came up, "I'm all in. We didn't get what we wanted, but we got our tickets." I was like, "Damn!" I left the signing, and I went and I broke down in tears in the room behind.
You left for a while.
I left for.
I thought you did something.
because
it was so much.
I couldn't.
It was very emotional.
I couldn't handle it.
The day we found out it sold out, it was probably one of the most emotional days for me, career-wise, professionally,
For sure.
in my whole career.
So here's Ring of Honor, a company that had, at that point, maybe a 12-year history, a 13-year history. The most amount of tickets they ever sold was 6,000. And in about 15 minutes, these all elite guys sell 6,001. In my eyes, they became bigger than Ring of Honor ever was in an instant.
I'm very excited that it sold out in the time it did. I did not think it was going to sell out. I mean, like the character, and I'm fairly confident, but this is also first-time promoter. I'm flattered by it, and I'm motivated by it as well. We really want to make it. You paid us, we want to make this something incredibly special. It may only ever happen this one time, there may only be one All In. So we got to make it good.
I think in a year's time we'll know we were on to something.
The Bucks had the idea of doing this, and I think I came in with a little bit of motivation to do so. And also, I let them know right away I'm not going anywhere. I'm not looking for this to be my springboard back to WWE. I love WWE, but I want to try this. I want to try what we're doing, and I think they needed to hear that. They needed a real partner.
I would like to think that Triple H would watch the show because he has his finger on the pulse of young talent, of happening talent. I think Vince at this point probably just maybe a GIF watcher, maybe a YouTube clip watcher, but that'll all be there too. I hope everybody watches the show. It would be foolish not to. I sat and watched every minute of SummerSlam. I want to see what they've got. We're doing this one night. We're not going on TV and starting the Monday Night Wars over or anything like that. We're doing this one single night, and the fans are the ones who have afforded us to do it.
I know Vince is going to want to keep it down because that's Vince. Vince doesn't want anyone to get past a certain level, but at the same time, you can't control everything, no matter how powerful you are.
It's both. It's
Were
a
we
curse and a
ready for
blessing.
the work? I think we were.
I'll tell you what
know
I
what I
think's the blessing is, hey, here's all the money for the show, and now on the flip side, hey, we'd like to offer you this for this.
Yeah.
Hey, we're interested.
Yeah.
That's really...
Everybody's knocking on our doors now.
Yeah, that's really cool to feel, but also we never wanted to just make this a cash grab.
Some people think we're getting rich. That's completely the opposite.
I got pretty rich.
Get out of here. We're probably going to break even at the end of the year because we don't realize how much goes into an actual show.
I think in a year's time, we'll know that All In wasn't a fluke.
I was most confident in All In, not because it was like, hey, we're doing it, here's our money, and we're gonna. But I was most confident in All In because the fans currently supporting the group are diehard.
Yeah,
I don't mean to be cliche and kind of throw it back to them, but this is almost like a fan booked event. They're the 100%. We had
That's
a
true.
full year,
Right.
a full year of Ring of Honor show after Ring of Honor show, where it was like, man, we could get all of, we can combine the group here in Buffalo with the group in Atlanta, with the group in Vegas. Let's pool them all together.
Not even
counting international.
Yeah,
it feels more or less like we've become like a boy band now. Like the teenage girls show up to our meet and greets with gifts now, and like it really feels that way.
Teenage
It's like,
girls don't show up to my meeting.
The letters Matt and I get are
it's
so like touching and inspirational and crazy
They're
to me.
so passionate.
Yeah.
So it's like that was another reason why I was confident. I was like, man, like these people love us.
Yeah.
And they watch our show every week.
I didn't realize it until recently.
Yeah.
Like how passionate.
Well, I don't think it
our
existed
fans
until
really are.
recently. I don't think it existed in, maybe 2 years ago.
Nick, we now want to make sure as many people see it, but the tricky element is we're not television directors or executive producers.
And it gets even more tricky when you talk about all the guys that we have that are doing
Cross
the show
brands.
that are on
Contracts
contracts,
and stuff,
and because everyone's on contracts these days, and
that's tough.
It could screw things up.
So we're first-time promoters.
First-time everything.
So now we're first-time executive producers, and I've seen a formatted show, but I've not written one myself, and we want to do everything. We don't want to steal someone or borrow or outsource.
Saturday, September 1st, WGN America presents the biggest independent wrestling event ever produced. All In, 0 Hour. With Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, and a full-blown battle royale. All In, 0 Hour. Saturday, September 1st at 6 East 3 West. Watch it live only on WGN America.
I know from the bottom of my heart that each and every one of you are all in.
It is Friday, the day before the big show. I'm here at the Sears Center. It is chaos in this building. They're loading everything up, getting everything set up. Let's take a peek inside.
Well, here, Matt, I'm vlogging here. This is the night of.
It's the first time I saw the...
Yep, the set is up.
This is the night before, you mean?
Oh yeah, night of. The night before, I mean.
I'm blown away. Like, I saw the drawings, but it's like you see it in person.
Looks great. I'm on stage here. The Sears Center. Look at this view. This is how it'll look coming down the stage.
And I guess she'll already be here. This will be pre-staged, right?
Tomorrow's the big day, guys.
Unreal. That set looks amazing.
Yeah. You guys got butterflies?
I'm sick to my stomach. Good job, boys.
We got.
When the
Be proud.
Hey, when the people walk in here, they're gonna be blown away. They're like, I can't believe these guys put together this.
Yeah.
This huge set, and then they're gonna understand why it costs $100 to meet us. Sarcasm.
I honestly think when the fans actually come into this building and realize, holy crap, this is like a huge building and arena, the excitement's just going to go through the roof. Like, I'm buzzing just sitting here right now.
When I was a kid, these were probably the same exact seats I would come and watch the wrestling.
Let's do it. Let's have fun. Let's make this a memorable night. Let's do it.
All In was always a feeling. An idea. There was nothing functional to it. Until we gave it form, until you guys gave it function. And I can't thank everybody who came over the course of the weekend, from StarCast to All In itself, to the independent shows that weekend that people also attended, to just everything about the destination it became, to those who watched on Fight or Honor Club or even New Japan World. You made the choice. It's 2018. It is very difficult to get a consumer to part with their money. I'm more than aware of that. I don't like to ever part with mine. But you guys bet on us, a group of guys who bet on themselves, and you put the creative arts back in the hands of the creators.
Come on down, guys. This show doesn't happen without someone like Kenny Omega. This show doesn't happen with someone not like Cody. He's the best. You know, guys, about a year ago, or maybe even longer, this man came into our lives. I thought to myself, man, that guy's as crazy and as ambitious as us, Nick. So I said, hey, let's take this guy, let's ride with him, let's dine with him, let's hang out with him. But Cody came to us with this wild idea. He said, Young Bucks, Bullet Club, I think that we could put 10,000 asses and 10,000 seats. And knowing that my brother and I are pretty much up to absolutely anything. I mean, we invaded Raw that one time.
Guys, technically we were in the mall across the street.
Kayfabe, man. Come on. But it didn't take just 3 men. It didn't take just the Young Bucks and Cody. It took each and every one of the people standing in this ring. This was a group collaboration. All the people in the back. And most importantly, as cheesy as it sounds, all 10,000 plus of you. There's a hunger, there's a thirst. You guys want good pro wrestling. You guys want good entertainment. And what we presented to you in those 4 hours and 57 minutes, oh my God, was our vision of what we think we can do with pro wrestling. Do you want more of this?
I know when you make a bet, sometimes you go double or nothing.
We have no graphic, we're not making an announcement. It's just something that, you know, we're brainstorming, we're talking about, we're spitballing. But if you guys want it, you want more pro wrestling from the cast of Being the Elite, then my family, my great friends, my cast of bandits, we will give you more of this. Because we couldn't have done this without you. Chicago, this was one of my favorite, you know what? This was my favorite night of my career.
You know what I like?
everyone is still in this building. All in is a serendipitous tale of things just falling in line one after another, and one of those things is not only did I find colleagues right here, not only did I find peers, these people are my best friends in the entire world. And that big question of what happens next with this group, we are sticking together. Because nobody, no man, no company, no entity owns pro wrestling. We own pro wrestling. And there are families out there, brothers, sisters, friends. Every single person knows what it's like to be told you are undesirable, what it's like to be told we can't fly you, you're from California, you're not good enough for WWE, every single thing. The reality is this. No, the reality is this. This group went from undesirable to undeniable.
I would hate to brag, but I wasn't one of the 3 brainchilds that created this show. I was merely a piece of the puzzle. I give all the credit in the world to Cody and the Young Bucks for what we've done today. That being said, I don't at all feel like an egomaniac when I say, my God, that was probably the greatest pro wrestling show I've ever been a part of. And you guys know where I come from. You guys know where some people want me to go, but guess freaking what? Guess freaking what? What we did today blew everything out of the water. And believe it or not, that's not just talking about the match quality. That's not talking about this incredible cast of characters. Guess what the most important ingredient is? Did you figure it out yet? Oh yes! It's each and every single one of you. You guys believed in the change. You believed in the movement. You believed in the alternative. And thus, we shall continue this journey. But for now, we all must bid you adieu. So please, with me now, if you will, goodbye! And good night, bang!
We didn't have much time to do anything, but man, we got through it. Everyone was professional.
I have a newfound respect for promoters because we were running around all day running the show, and it's so much easier just being a professional wrestler. But man, I had the time of my life.
We did pretty good.
We performed. I'm happy it's over. I want to go to Fridays now and eat appetizers until my feet go numb. And,
I'm just happy it's over at this point.
There is a question of whether we do it again. And the best answer I can give you is it could have just been a great night at the matches in Chicago, for sure. That's all it could have been. but it felt like more. It felt like a revolution. And revolutions aren't just one night.
I absolutely would hope we do one more, but it depends on, it doesn't work. I will say All In doesn't work, and I don't mean to be selfish, but it doesn't work without the three of us doing
you
it.
guys are all in.
Yeah, everybody has
And
to.
right now everything's crazy because our contracts are up soon, so we really don't know. We can't say we're going to do another one because we don't even know if we're going to be available.
Matt's
it's really
back.
tricky.
Matt's back is real
my
bad.
back. And then also
Nick's
I told
leg
Cody
hurt himself.
something.
Liger. I mean, come on.
I feel like if we do another one, it's got to be in the same ambitious.
Gotta be
spirit,
ambitious.
right?
Yeah,
Yes. So like, could you just do another one? Say, oh, I want 10,000 yen, or do you do? Well, I want 20,000, or I want 15,000. I personally would like to do Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean? I think that'd be cool.
See you All In 2.
All In 2.
For next year's All In, which is definitely going to happen.
You heard it here first. We are breaking.
Absolutely.
Cody Rhodes just called us before. All In 2 is happening. Conrad Thompson just had a heart attack.
And the main event is going to be CM Punk versus Adrian Neville, and it's going to be
Neville.
Huge, yeah. Pac. Sorry, Pac.
None of that was true. Someone will watch this and be like, what?
Yeah, they're going to tweet him and say we're misreporting. None of that's true, but it probably will be one next year.
They've got to. They can't not.
The 10,000 plus people last night felt like 100,000 people, and you were in the building. You got to feel it. I don't want to jump to say I'm ready to do it again, but it definitely, there's a thirst for what we were offering. So that's the focus now, I think, is what do we do next?
Did anybody play bigger than you? You knew they'd play big, but they played bigger last night than you envisioned?
I thought the opening match, MJF, really stood out as somebody, like, it just really stood out as, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm ever in a position to say, like, he's got it. But it felt like one of those, like, hey, there's something.
Yeah.
There's something there, and if we're talking about planning or whatever, but literally just in your mind, if you're like, all right, what's the card if you do it again? I was thinking, well, if he's available, that's special, and that was cool to me because he's a young person, a young kid, an upstart. That's really important to have on an event like that.
I know what you're really looking for. You're looking for that next big thing. You're looking for the guy with the physical prowess, the charisma, and the attitude. So, Trip, the question isn't if I'm tough enough. No. The question is, are you smart enough to know when the future of your company is looking at you dead in the face? Because my name is Maxwell Jacob Feinstein, and I'm better than you. And you know it.
Ladies and gentlemen, just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you're watching this programming, let's just assume poor. My name is Maxwell Jacob Friedman, but you mouth breathers can call me MJF. I'm the youngest and fastest rising star in, I don't know, the history of professional wrestling. I am 23 years old. I have been wrestling for about, I think it's been 4 years now. No big deal. It's not like I haven't taken the world by storm.
Do you have any actual friends?
Okay. First of all, rude. Second of all,
Just asking what the fans want to know.
everyone is my friend. I mean, let's face facts here. Who doesn't want to be friends with someone who's on All In, someone who is the CZW World Heavyweight Champion, someone who literally wrestles for nearly every single top independent promotion in the world? Maxwell Jacob Friedman, the youngest and fastest rising star in professional wrestling.
So when you look at a guy like MJF and you wonder, how does MJF get on All In? You have to look for a rising star. And I barely know this guy. This could be a bonehead move. This could be dumb. But when I see him, kind of reminds me of a young me. And I like a young me. And it's 1/3 my show. So he has a lot of people who back him. There's something about that fine line between attitude and ego, and I think he's gonna make a great addition.
If you're in professional wrestling and you don't respect Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks, you're an idiot. Granted, you're probably already an idiot because apparently you didn't know who I was, but still, you're an idiot. You got the Young Bucks, quite possibly the greatest tag team ever, and then you got Cody Rhodes, a guy who had it all,
didn't have to leave, left, and then got it all and then some. All In is amazing, and the fact that these three gentlemen were able to pull it off is even more amazing.
I told the higher-ups, sign these guys now. They are your absolute number one priority. They created something that you have not been able to create in 13 years, whatever it was. They didn't do it. They said, let them do their little show.
Truthfully, we were happy, and we probably would have never have left if the right offer came. 100% honestly. You know, I was having the time of my life, and we were just waiting for a really good offer because we knew that was the year that it was time to get paid because we were as hot as we'd ever been. And, you know, we just did All In. And yeah, like you just said, the Garden sold out. Most people say because of the Elite, you know, and so we knew we had a big price tag. And when they made their offer, it was so below what we were thinking it was going to be that for the first time ever, Nick and I said to each other, oh my God, I think we have to actually go out and shop and see what our street value is. Like if they would have just hit a number, we wouldn't have even probably shopped. We probably would have just taken it because we were having so much fun, you know, going from town to town, closing every show with our little Being the Elite song and dance at the end. Like it was a great, wonderful time. Why didn't New Japan and ROH get together to offer all of us the money that we thought we deserved? I don't know. I don't think like in hindsight, they didn't know that this new project was happening. They didn't know All Elite Wrestling was going to be a thing. Nobody did. And I think maybe now looking back, if they knew that, you know, there was this project looming, then they probably would have offered us anything. You know what I mean? And it was funny because WWE didn't even know that this project was happening, but they were willing to throw everything at us. So I'd only imagine if they knew what was happening, what they probably would have offered on top of that. You know what I mean? Like that blows my mind even thinking about that. But I don't know. I don't have an answer. I think that maybe they felt like they didn't need us all. Maybe they felt like they would have been fine without us. Nick and I knew though, like we basically compared our show Being the Elite at the tail end was pretty much like ROH television. Yeah. And it was the driving force to what brought people to the show. And I'm not over exaggerating when I say that if a wrestling fan at an ROH show had a shirt on, there was an 80-90% chance it was a Bullet Club or a Being the Elite related shirt. So we knew that was our audience. And maybe they just didn't realize how deep it had gotten and how much of that audience was strictly ours and there for us. Maybe they just didn't have the awareness.
I know when you make a bet, sometimes you go double or nothing.
Guys,
holy crap.
We're going double or nothing. Hangman, show us yours.
Oh, mine says something different.
Never look back, no, never say die. Always attack with the warrior cry.
You know what I mean? Like
very much
the
so.
business was at a point where there needed to be some collective change.
Yeah.
The fans were sick of.
The fans were begging.
They were begging for something, and we were just kind of, again, we were chosen as those guys. That was our role at that time. We were the change, and it just worked out. We didn't know what we were doing. We were just having fun, and we had a group of friends. We were talking about earlier, a group of friends, like-minded individuals, kind of disruptors, guys who didn't think of wrestling the same way we thought of it. God, I don't even know.
We just needed to think different. Not
different.
necessarily bigger. Not
just
necessarily
different.
Just like, it just needed to be different.
Yeah,
That's all it needed to be.
And our friend, like, you know, it was us, it was Cody, it was Kenny, it was Hangman, and then we met this Tony Khan guy, and who also believed in what we were doing because he was a fan of ours. We looked back, and it was funny. He showed me the other day. Was it you? You had like an Elite shirt on from like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Tony Khan in one of his Instagram photos. Like he's
it.
like a first day Elite fan.
Yeah,
that's what he's the biggest fan in the world. And we met him, and it's just. It was luck, man. It was serendipitous, and it all worked out.
At the end of the day, isn't that what someone you want to work for? Someone who is a fan of the product that you are busting your ass for?
Yeah.
You want to work for someone who loves this, not who hates it and like despises it. I'm like, oh, if I could be anywhere else, I would be, or do something else with my money. I'm like, no, it's again choice. He had a choice.
Like you said too, it's changed so many people's lives.
So many people.
That right there is so cool.
Yes.
That's the coolest thing for like I don't care about anything with wrestling legacy or
that's bigger than money.
It was helping get hundreds of people, and production workers, cameramen, just
Amen.
so many people jobs
Amen.
off of wrestling.
Like
off
we
of pro
could have
wrestling.
any great matches. People go, I love this match.
I don't care
I go,
about any of that.
I don't care. This, like you just said,
This is
changing
providing
people's
for
lives.
families.
Yes.
How crazy is that?
If that's our legacy, that's what I care
right.
about.
That's what
a
I
lot
care
of people are like, I want my legacy to be the greatest this and greatest that. It's like, no. If you look back at us, you go, hey, those guys changed a lot of people's lives.
Dynamite is this show I created in 1995 when I was 12 years old. And
Jesus.
And Rampage is a show that I started doing when I had too much to put on Dynamite. So I've been thinking about it for a long time, and I happen to be like somebody who loved the wrestling business, but had worked in sports, and obviously came from like I was very fortunate. My dad came over from Pakistan, and when he was 16 to go to college at the University of Illinois, and that's where I met my mom, and then I was born there in Illinois. And he started a business, and it really took off. But he kind of came here with nothing, and he is the big success, and he's the reason this all happened. We had a really ugly Christmas 2018 because I had already, frankly, told like Jericho and other people like we're gonna do this, and like and a bunch of people, and I had pretty much a bunch of people verbally ready to go, and a bunch of contracts were set to expire at the start of 2019. I had a business plan and everything ready to go, which is AEW now.
Yeah.
And he was like, this isn't gonna work. We're gonna lose millions. Like you have no guarantee. I didn't have a TV deal at that point for it. And it was a huge gamble. And he's gone into like Forbes and a couple times on the record and said like he was completely wrong. And he like,
that's the great, like, it's kind of the chip on our shoulders that we always have. We all talk about this, like proving somebody wrong.
Yeah, but I'm like shoving it in his face. He's the reason we're all here. So
Right.
like, but but it was great. He did take the gamble, and it was a great quote because he said like, this money, it's his money, and he's like, but someday I'll pass away, and you and your sister are going to inherit it. So now you're going to start blowing through it. Hey, there we are. He said you're going to start blowing through it now, and it's luckily I think we've built something really special.
What's the 5-year plan for AEW?
First and that. I am working here without a contract.
AEW is now Destination Television.
I have a huge announcement tonight. Today I signed a deal. I just became the new owner of Ring of Honor.
Now that Tony Khan has purchased Ring of Honor, he owns that name All In. And I can't believe it's been almost 5 years ago, guys, since All In Chicago. And really, and again, I bring this up, Bully, you were involved, Tommy, you were involved. That show in Chicago, All In, Tommy, it changed the landscape of pro wrestling. We probably would not have AEW right now if it wasn't for that show in Chicago almost 5 years ago.
There are parts of the world where we are number one, which is amazing, like the United Kingdom.
There is a big hunger for AEW in the UK. The TV ratings are good.
I have asked Tony so many times at press conferences and stuff about the UK shows. I know how important it is to people in the UK for these shows to be happening. I'm lucky enough to have been able to go to America and travel to see AEW. Other people aren't, and that's why I always ask, when are the UK shows happening?
All In is coming to London Wembley Stadium.
Wembley Stadium? 80,000 Wembley. 90,000 Wembley. I don't understand. I don't get it. I've seen the graphic. I don't get it. Wembley Stadium. Straight away I was like, Craven Cottage, Fulham. Even that's going to be an ask. And then as soon as he said Wembley, I was like, oh, Wembley Arena. Yeah, okay. And then when he said stadium, I was like, he's made a mistake. Oh, he's made a mistake, isn't he? Oh, botch. Well, a ticket's free.
We kind of joke around that Tony Khan's always making a huge announcement or a big announcement. This might be the biggest one.
It's slightly funny that he makes his announcement at 2:30 a.m. in the UK when a lot of people were in bed.
What we interesting is to see what they bring in, they draw, and to see how many people jump all over them if they don't draw 40,000 people.
If you're able to fill that stadium, and listen, you make that kind of you make that kind of stance that we're going to be here at Wembley, we're going to be watching.
Personally, I always thought the time to try that was in 2021 when AEW had unprecedented momentum. They had signed 3 of the biggest names in the industry within weeks of each other, pulling very good TV ratings and filling arenas across the country. At that time, I felt like AEW could have truly sold out any stadium in the world.
I think there is an appetite for this in the UK. Is there enough to sell tens and thousands of tickets, approaching 100,000? I'm quite dubious. I will say that Tony Khan is a smart guy. He's a smart businessman, and I don't think he would have booked this show if he thought he was only going to sell 20, 30,000 tickets, right? I think this guy's probably got a few aces up his sleeve.
This is a massive taking on by a company to try, you have to do more than 45,000 people because a half empty stadium would look like a failure. So you really need to, have one hell of a lineup, and they have enough wrestlers to put the card together. But it's going to be a very, very big undertaking for AEW. And let's hope they pack that place.
I wanted us to get something special, and I could have never imagined it would be Wembley Stadium, which is so great, so big, so grand.
To me, WrestleMania is the greatest moment of my career. But, in the back of my mind, I think a strong number 2 was that day the tickets went on sale for All In. I have trouble with the fact that I no longer own the name to it. But it's also, I kind of look at it as a sense that it's not mine. It's the fans.
Yeah.
So let them have a good time with it.
Hey guys, it's Dr. Britt Baker, DMD.
Then we want to tell you that August 27th.
In my home, the United Kingdom, in none other than the prestigious Wembley Stadium.
Yeah, all the British people, yellow stained, crooked teeth, disgusting animals. Yeah, we're going there.
And let me tell you, I'm so bloody excited.
Doesn't get me excited. I'm glad everybody else is. I'd rather die than have to go over there.
This is going to be a huge event, one of the biggest wrestling shows of all time.
And it's 10 days after my birthday, so make sure you bring me lots of gifts.
AEW is coming to London for All In August 27th.
Get your tickets May 5th at ticketmaster.co.uk. We're all in. Are you?
It's the one show you need to go to because what we're doing is we're making history. It's going to be the biggest crowd in the history of this promotion we've ever been in front of. It's going to be the loudest, most obnoxious, most drunk, most European fans we've been in front of. So yeah, if you're into that.
The one thing I was going to say that's actually been freaking me out a bit this week is someone mentioned that it's only a month until AEW's Wembley Stadium show.
Holy moly.
Come around quick. At the moment, Pete, they haven't announced a single thing about this show.
Right.
They haven't announced performers. They haven't announced matches. They don't even seem on television to be building towards anything.
No match announced for All In. Not one. And we're 4 weeks away. All Out, which is the week afterwards, that's 5 weeks away, already has one match announced. Darby Allin versus the TNT champ, Luchasaurus. And that was announced last week. This isn't a time to be waiting until the last second to give us a full card.
All In is 4 weeks away. And I'll say that again, just in case by chance Tony Khan sees this video. All In is 4 weeks away. So I gotta wonder, what are we doing? And not only that, but they're doing All Out a week after. Tony, please book some matches and get something good going.
It's so weird that they've got this thing and they've sort of gone, oh yeah, that's done, don't have to worry about that now. And I'm a little bit terrified on their behalf.
Yeah.
I really am. I think it's an odd thing because like in a stadium, it doesn't actually matter about the quality of the match. What matters is the hype and excitement and the bigness of what they put together. And at the moment, There is literally nothing.
Tony definitely has a problem of only finalizing things or ramping it all up on the week or two before pay-per-view. But I did naively think that All In would be different because it's such a historic show. Like, they've sold around 70,000 tickets. They're mentioning it on Dynamite. The awareness is there. We're waiting for it. We're rapid for it. So let's get this build started. When this show was announced, it was like the biggest news and everyone was so excited. And it's been a while, but the hype has really died down because there's nothing to talk about.
So leave it to me to talk about it. And the first thing I want to talk about is Wembley Stadium. Gosh, am I the first wrestler to mention Wembley Stadium? 80,000 people strong. Is CM Punk gonna go to merry old England? Is CM Punk wrestling on Wembley Stadium show? Well, maybe we'll know by the end of the night. I don't know.
First time ever even coming to Wembley. This thing's massive.
First time ever seeing it in the flesh.
Reminds me of the Tokyo Dome. I haven't done a big stadium show since
It's been a minute.
What, 18?
Yep.
Here we are.
We are here to rehearse our entrance.
Apparently they want to blow fireworks around the lid.
Yep.
And fill the ring with streamers. It's going to be our biggest entrance ever.
Real pretty.
Well, hopefully that doesn't happen tomorrow. It's brutal.
What the?
What the?
Oh, what'd I tell you about no cursing?
What are you most excited about being here at the show?
Oh, FTR Bucks for sure. Gotta be FTR Bucks.
Sting!
Wait, where'd you come from?
Munich, Germany. Yeah.
Oh man, so what made you take the travel time to come out here? Why specifically this show?
It's the first show in Europe, and we were saying, like, when AEW started, we were like, okay, we need to go if they ever come to Europe, so this is our chance to do it.
I'm standing here with Victor, who traveled all the way from Chile here to London to watch All In. Oh my gosh, tell us about that.
Wembley is an historic stadium, principally for soccer, for football. This is a unique opportunity to watch.
It's for everyone to sit their ass in their seats and pay attention to me.
The big stars are going to be out here tonight.
AEW will return here to Wembley Stadium in 1 year. We'll be back on the bank holiday Sunday again next year, August 25th. I'm very excited about that return. Yes, there was an incident backstage before we went live on tonight's show. We are investigating it until I learn more about what happened. I can't really address it at this time, so I can't comment, but I did want to be honest with you and tell you that is the case. Where was the first place I ever met you and saw you wrestle?
Holy shit. It was in England.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. That's pretty crazy.
I actually scouted him out here in England. It's pretty amazing. And
it was right before All In. Literally right before All In. A show that I had no right being on because Cody did me a solid, if we're being honest. And then I got booked on shows adjacent in England that I wouldn't have gotten booked on if it wasn't for the original All In 2018. And I remember wrestling and I was killing it. And I looked up and I saw this dude and I was like, that dude seems really excited about what I'm doing right now, you know? And then the rest is pretty much history.